Ken Rubin is a professor of volcanology and geochemistry at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, and he joins me now from Honolulu. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me, Rosemary.
Now, it has to be said, the images that we're looking at are magnificent, but clearly very dangerous. What are some of your biggest concerns when a volcano like this erupts?
It is spectacular, and because of that, it draws in visitors and residents alike to be able to see and experience the activity. Oftentimes, the opening days of a volcanic eruption like this are the most spectacular. So we, of course, worry about multiple things: getting too close to the lava or the spatter, interacting with volcanic gas or volcanic particulates in the air, which are called tephra, and generally clogging the roads and or making access for the first responders, the scientists on the ground, the civil defense officials, and other people that need to be present to monitor the eruption are all things that we worry about. However, once a perimeter is established, we encourage people to come and take a look at the eruption from a safe and respectful distance.
And of course, you've been watching this very closely. Anything that you would like to tell us? Have you noticed any major changes in volcanic activity in the last few hours?
So this is a fascinating eruption, and one of the things that we're so interested in tracking is how the eruption location, the fissures in the ground where the volcanic vents are, how those change over time, how the pace of lava flowing out of the ground changes over time, how the amount of spattering that shoots material up into the atmosphere changes over time. These tell us about changes in the supply and the pressurization. At the current time, the eruption hasn't changed very substantially in the last day and a half or so. It's focused down to only being erupting from one current fissure right now, which is feeding a lava flow down slope. It has reached a relatively flat area of slope, and so what this has done is caused the advance rate of the lava flow to slow down substantially. It's only moving at about 12 meters an hour or 40 feet an hour, and this is also causing the lava flow farther upslope to have what we call breakouts, where new lobes are pushed out from the original channel. We don't know how those will evolve, but overall, what it seems to be doing is causing the primary active flow to become wider and to advance a little bit less slowly.
And of course, we do know, right, and we do know that the lava is getting close to a major highway. What plans need to be made when it gets too close?
Well, importantly, this highway has been in existence since the 1940s, but it was majorly realigned in about 2009 and 10 to allow for larger vehicular traffic. And so it has become a very important route going from one side of the island to the other. And of course, if it does become inundated with lava, if it's a little bit, it could probably be restored relatively quickly. If it's a lot, it will take longer to restore. And obviously, things won't be restored until the lava is cooled and the risk of additional inundation is over. There is an alternate route which had been in use for many years. It's a fully improved highway. And so I imagine it will mostly be an inconvenience, adding an hour or two onto the commute between the two sides of the island, rather than causing any sort of major breakdown in transportation of goods and services across the island.
And as you've shared with us, you don't want people getting too close at this particular juncture. What other safety concerns do you have?
So that's the primary thing, is to not be in the zone where you could experience active spatter or fallout of volcanic material, or accidentally step on lava that looks solidified on the surface. It might not be glowing red anymore, but it could still be quite hot underneath. Once we're out of that very immediate zone into more distal or peripheral areas of the eruption, the things that we're primarily concerned with are volcanic gas inhalation. The winds can change direction rather rapidly, and so an area that might seem like it's safe to be breathing in can change relatively quickly into an area where one can experience very noxious fumes. There are some mitigation strategies, such as placing a wet towel or a wet cloth over your mouth. This works in a temporary sense, but it's something that, as I say, people who have been exposed for great periods of time should not be present in that area. People who are out researching and monitoring the lava flow are wearing gas masks.
All right, Ken Rubin, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.